Our Motu March Madness pregame continues with more new Eternia and Masterverse figures slotted for 2024, and we recap the epic GI Joe Classified Series Leap Day reveals and pre-orders right now on Toy Habits Live.
And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a special Friday night edition of Toy Habits. I'm Michael.
And I'm the Toy Sorceress. And you're watching a special edition of Toy Habits Live. What's going on, Michael?
Oh my gosh, so much Motu news. The GI Joe Leap Day stuff was amazing. I just can't wait to talk about it with everyone. And of course you, because this is the only time we get to catch up on this stuff.
I know. And like, luckily it was like a slow burn starting Wednesday night with leaks of photos and stuff coming out for GI Joe because it helped us get a jump start. There's no way we would have been able to handle that.
No.
Otherwise.
No, I think we can guarantee that there's going to be photos for us to get prepared pretty much every single night before the live stream.
Yeah, that was a huge help. So whoever's leaking that stuff out, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. That was awesome. But yeah, so it looks like the chat is hopping. We have a lot of really cool Motu news, some more aka leaks or whatever you want to call it, but actually they're not leaks, they're confirmed figures coming to Masterverse.
Pretty much.
We know this. We can't tell you how we know, but they are confirmed.
Yeah.
Evidence. Anyway, we'll put the pin in that. Do you want to go ahead and let's check in with the chat and see who's all here? All right, we got crew member Frankie Rivera is in the house. We also have right hand of Skeletor, crew member Masterverse Toy Hunter, Solar Elder, good to see you. Collector Phil is here. As always, crew member and awesome friend of ours, Joe Coleman, is in the house. It's Toy Habits time, everybody. Toy Habits time. Zeus Ramos is here. King Panther is also here. Awesome crew member of our amazing group. Brandon Barnes is also in the house, and crew member and friend of the channel who I was just chatting with right before our stream, Ken from Toy Connections, is here. Good to see you, Ken. Nunya Biz is also joining us. Vex and Toys, awesome crew member, friend of the channel, friend of mine. Fairness of Toys is joining us. Hello, Toy Habits peeps. Also, crew member Ryan Cole is here. Hega Nega, crew member, I'm not going to mess up your name, but Hega, good to see you as well. Awesome crew member Neil Hunter Hyde is joining us. Friend of the channel, Silver K is here. Smack that like button, you're all. Good to see you. Kayla on our U83 is here. Crew member Kenzo's Creations is joining us. Paul Galilino is also here. Tylen Troyer is joining us. And Joshua Johnson, Chris Allen, Wondar10. I love that little avatar you have there. Crew member Rob 2023 is here, and Preppy 1982. I love that. You need like a what's it called? Saved by the Bell. What's the name of the main character? It's escaping me. Like not Slater, but the other guy. His avatar, because he's preppy. Bobby is also here. Waldo Vaz-Sama is here, and Ian 2800 is joining us. Anyway, Zach. Thank you, Zach Slater. And it's like, when you're live and your brain just goes fully blank. I know it's Zach Morris. I do have even a Zach Morris doll, which is hilarious, and I don't believe I forgot that name. Anyway,
happens to me all the time.
I know. Good to see everyone. Michael, how was your week before we dive into this awesome news?
The week was actually good. Work was fine. There wasn't any crazy fire drills or anything. Actually took Leap Day off. I do this every 4 years because we get an extra day, and why not just mess around? So I went over to the vintage store and texted you a picture of a little cute Smurf mobile that was in there.
That was so cute.
So it was fun to mess around like just midweek and not be working.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it actually coincided with the awesome GI Joe drops.
Yeah.
So that was a huge help that you had the day off and you were our eyes and ears that day while I was
Well, you
going
helped
through
out
a
a
12 or
ton
14-hour
too.
workday yesterday. So
Jeez, that's
it's
crazy.
long. It was long.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so let's say hello to our Toy Habits crew, and then we'll dive into the news.
Totally. Yeah. I want to say hello to our amazing crew and also welcome 5 new members. We have Casey from Podcast from the Pit. So nice to you to join the crew. We have Greener, Gavin, Everlost, and of course, the one and only Kenzo's Creations.
Welcome everybody to the crew. It's awesome to have you guys. And can I say thanks to everybody who's on the crew. Thank you for your support. You guys are awesome. And what a fun community we have. Like everyone just has such a great time. And if you are, one of our addict members and you're on Discord, gosh, those guys on Discord, the guys and gals, they have so much fun. So if you want to join in, become an addict member, and you could also have fun chatting away, sharing toy hauls and all sorts of stories and stuff on our Discord. So that is really awesome. Just wanted to say hello to Toy Bounty Hunter, who also joined us, and Cora, and we got Solar as well. And then one more, Hyperdelic, also jumped in. Good to see everybody. This is awesome. So why don't we go ahead and dive into the incredible toy news we had on our special Friday night edition of Toy Habits. And I guess before we do that, 2 things. Penny Rooster's here, and a big hello to Dan Diego. And Michael is going to recap our King Grayskull giveaway. So go for it.
Yes, because we still have a week and change left. So Wes, who is one of our fans of the channel, I ordered him an Eternia set. He did not want the King Grayskull figure, and he said that we could give it away on the channel. So this is a rare chance for you to enter to win. And basically, I'm going to drop this link in the chat if you have not entered yet. But if you go to our Toy Habits website, at the top, you just click enter to win, and you'll see this amazing article that has a slot for you to join in and enter. And so we made it kind of fun. So you get to leave a comment on this article for some entries, viewing the segment that we talked about last week, how to enter. It's linked in there. Comment on the video that we talked about how to enter, and follow our Instagram account. There's also, oops, I realized I was not flashing those. There's also some optional things that you can do as well. So if you want to join the Toy Habits crew, you can get some bonus entries as there's still time. You can also sub our YouTube channel for 3 extra entries and just tweet a message about this giveaway. And that is pretty much it. And just disclaimer, any gaming of the system will get you disqualified, and we have ways to figure this thing out. So
and evaporated. I'm totally kidding.
So we will be announcing live the winner live on our March 10th, 2024 live stream. So yes, it's a really rare chance to get a very cool, very limited edition figure. But yes, Motu news was just flowing, and I'm actually going to kick it off with something that surprised me, and I think surprised everyone, with Snout Spout actually going to Mattel Creations.
It's been the week of Masterverse, I think, right?
Yes.
Kicking it off with Snout Spout here.
Did you expect this at all? I expected it just to show up at Target, like New Eternia, Beastman, and some of the other Target exclusives. Never expected this to be on Mattel Creations.
Me neither whatsoever. I totally thought it was just going to show up on Target shelves at some point, just like all the other deluxe figures did, and we were just going to find them aplenty. But being on Mattel Creations, I actually think we have a really good chance. It's probably going to be easier to just buy them right off the bat. I'm sure he'll be available for a good half hour, just like we had Rock On. And Rock On started shipping to people the very next day. So you know what? Mattel Creations has actually been doing a really great job. I want to give them kudos for that, because people have their Rock Ons in their hands as we speak. So I'm not worried about this. I think it'll be a good experience. Yeah,
we'll give them kudos for that, but we also have to ding them for they still have those international shipping issues, which is screwing the rest of the world. So I'm like,
that kind of sucked. And what was up with that new CAPTCHA, Michael? I got some weird one that said pick everything that needs water to survive. Like,
Oh
what the
yeah.
heck was that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Hega, it's yes,
Yeah.
if you live in those 10 countries that they ship to, I really hope they figure this out. And like,
Mhm.
I love buying stuff on Mattel Creations, but if it means to like, if we can push out some of the dates where these things go on pre-order and they can figure out their international shipping, like I'd be fine with that because I want the whole world to enjoy Motu because that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I'm sure that Snout Spout will become available in some other method. Now, if Snout Spout had not been on Mattel Creations and only available, let's say, at Target, then he would have been hard to find, and people internationally would have to wait till other
Yeah.
third-party retailers got him many months later. So
Yeah.
I think maybe by being on Mattel Creations, he's going to be available to a lot more people, and some people don't even have a Target near them, aka
That's true.
even in Canada. Right. So maybe this is actually helping Snout Spout to get to a little bit more people than would have if he just came out at retail. That's just my
true.
take.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to know what's going on behind the scenes, but a lot of stuff
Yeah.
behind the scenes with some of the information that we've been
Mhm.
fed of late. And we will kick this off with our Masters of the Universe Revolution Masterverse figures that are coming, Man of War and Snake Teela.
Yeah. So more, Revolution figures for the Masterverse line. Yet another Snake Eyes. Oh, sorry, Man at Arms for the Masterverse line. I'm totally kidding, and I said that on purpose because Man at Arms is now becoming the Snake Eyes of Masterverse. This is
Yeah.
our fourth version of him, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it's like fourth or fifth. I don't know.
Fourth
It's
or
like with
fifth,
Snake
yeah.
Eyes that keep losing count.
I know, right? So,
Yeah.
but this is going to be a cool version of him. I'm on the fence if I'm going to get him. I don't know because I'm just kind of trying not to collect too much of the animated ones. But he has an
Yeah.
awesome outfit, and when you think about it, with the white and the gold, he's going to look really cool if they've released like the He-Man, with
Ooh,
his kind of more ceremonial
yes.
battle armor outfit that he had, which was in similar colors. So those two might look kind of cool on the shelf together. What do you think, Michael? Are you in on this one, or are you going to skip them?
I'm leaning towards in on it only because it's Man at Arms and I like the Man at Arms character. So
Yep,
I don't like he's not as bad as all of the Snake Eyes or even Roadblocks that the Classified series has created.
that's
But
true.
I do love his armor, and I think
Yeah.
if he comes with that face shield that comes down, maybe that
Mhm.
cannon that pops out of his wrist, and the
Yeah.
oversized armor, I'm all in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to see what he's going to look like, but I think he's going to be pretty darn cool. Not only that, we're going to get Snake Teela or Green Goddess Teela. Do you think she's going to be translucent? Maybe if she's translucent, I might pick her up.
I hope so, and I hope that she doesn't have those issues that the translucent classics figures had. But yeah, I'm definitely with Silver K. Give me Snake Teela, mommy. She was a
Yeah,
badass in Revolution, let me say.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. She was pretty skimpy outfit there, but she looked pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny. I loved I was trying to take screenshots of her transformation and you can kind of see like the snakeskin texture. And I really hope
Ooh.
that they do some of that on the figure too.
Oh, I know. That would be really cool if they actually sculpted in the texture rather than just tempoed something on to like, the regular human buck legs or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
that would be nice. Mhm.
Yeah. And again,
Yeah.
like the Revolution series and the Revolution figures are not for everyone. And it's funny because
Mhm.
I really think that they're kind of saving their new Eternia line for it's kind of their Motu Classics 2.0 line.
Mhm. Absolutely. So I mean, just like a lot of you in the chat, I'm on the fence on these. I want to see what they look like. And just wanted to plus in Damien's comment here. Any chance you could help him track down an Origins Whiplash? Well, Damien, if we come across one, we will let you know. But the easiest way to find a Origins Whiplash is to go to toyhabits.com, hit the shop icon on the upper right hand corner, go to the Motu Origins shop page, and there you'll find a bunch of links to help you track down Whiplash and all of the rest of the figures in the Origins line. So
Yes.
start there. And if you can't find them, let us know and we'll see if we can help out.
Yeah, I actually might have an extra one as I'm cleaning out my
there you go.
room. I'm unearthing all of these things. So Damien, if you can DM us on Instagram or just go email us at toyhabits@gmail.com, I will look for you.
Awesome. So maybe Michael will track one down for you, but that was a great way to plug our shop pages.
No, that would totally was. Well, awesome. Yeah. So Revolution figures hit and miss. I've actually been good in not getting every single Masterverse figure that comes out. Like I didn't pick up Skeletech and another one. So I'm trying to be better.
Me too. I'm cherry picking in the line at this point. They've taken up 2 shelves in my new shelving system, and that's all they're gonna get. So and now I have to be picky, and if something else takes up space, something else is gonna go.
Yeah.
So with that being said, though, now we have 4 more really awesome figures that are definitely going to get a spot on my shelf. And why don't we dive into the next pair of reveals here? So Cyclone, new Eternia Cyclone, and new Eternia Merman. Michael, what are your thoughts on these 2 guys? And may I say, I love that graphic.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you did a great job putting that together. Of course.
Sorry, I just had to plug that.
No, I was going to do it for you if you didn't do it yourself. But yeah, I'm excited to see what a new Eternia Merman would look like. This would actually complete the first 8 figures because he's the only holdout in our new Eternia line of the first 8 Masters of the Universe figures. And of course, Cyclone is such a cool figure. He is a classic. We're getting him in Origins, and it's amazing to see that we're getting him in Masterverse.
I know. And wouldn't it be funny if he came out in Masterverse before we got him in our hands in Origins and we've already seen the figure?
It's crazy. Yeah, I wonder if they're producing them at the same time, because wouldn't they be the same paint colors? And so they would just basically have to run, I don't really know how this process works, but however they run them in the factory to get all the paint.
You might have something there, because actually his arms and legs and most of his head would be made of a fully yellow plastic. And so when they make those, they have plastic beads that they melt down and put into whatever the molds are in their machines. And they may just have different molds, obviously, for the Masterverse and for the Origins figures. And they can maybe use the same, yellow and blue plastic beading or whatever when they're making these. Who knows?
Yeah. And Nuno Biz, just to answer your question, no, we use the Motu Classics figures as stand-ins because we don't have official images, but it's interesting to see like what they're going to do with the new Eternia line, because I have the Power and Honor Foundation book, which goes over like all of the concept sketches for a lot of the figures. And I came across this, Cyclone image in the book on the right. And so I'm like, I doubt that they would do something like this. He's probably going to look more like his Motu Classics figure. What do you think, Toy Sorceress?
I think so. With the new Eternia line, I think they've been trying to keep it pretty classic, but then giving us extra accessories to give it a twist to harken back to its conception, its conceptual roots of the character. So I think he's going to look like the Cyclone we all know and love, and maybe he'll have like an alternate head, some additional accessories or armor or something else that's going to make him kind of plus him up a little bit. I sure hope he just looks classic. I really love I love the Motu Classics version. I do have that one. And I can't wait to see what they do with the Masterverse version.
Yeah, me too. It's kind of like what they did with Ram Man. You can kind of make him look new Eternia-ish as he's from this, like the concept sketches, or you can just make him look like regular old Ram Man.
Exactly. And I foresee them doing the exact same thing with Cyclone. And I want him to come with a lenticular sticker on his chest. It has to be that holographic lenticular sticker. It has to. I don't want like some solid graphic on there.
Yeah, and this makes another point too. Like, I guess they'll have to I don't know if they'll make the lenticulars the same size in the Origins and the Masterverse figures, but if they're off by millimeters, they just have to reset the machine that cuts and prints them. So
exactly.
there we go.
They can do it all, pretty much at the same time. This next one I'm super excited about as well. And yeah, that actually, let's go back to Merman. We didn't talk about Merman yet.
Oh, oops! I think I forgot to throw him in here.
Oh, it's okay. I can pull him up. But
I
with
can
Merman, what I was going to say is I feel like it's been a slow, arduous burn because we started with the revelation version of him where he was scarred, he had no eye, he had no armor, he just had his trident or a bident, the first version of Merman, and we're like, darn it, he doesn't look like the Merman we like. He's kind of cool. I don't know if we're ever going to get another one, so we all bought him, and then a year or so later, they're like, oh, classic Merman's coming to the Masterverse line, but he wasn't all the way classic. He was another revelation animated Merman. Cool as he is, he wasn't really a final version. He's cool there,
Right.
but he still has that more stylized look to him. He looks like he's out of the cartoon. Yeah. I really love what they did with this Merman, but there's still a little something, there you go, missing for me, right?
Yeah.
Like it's very, very stylized, and and he is cool. But so now it's like, okay, third time is the charm. Are we finally getting that classic Merman that we're all craving, right? So he is going to look incredible. I want him to come with his two different heads, both his original kind of vintage toy figure head that you see on that Motu Classics version, and then down below by his feet you have the cross-cell version of Merman, which was what he looked like in his conceptual sketches. I have no doubt that since he's new Eternia, he would be coming with both of those. So what do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I hope he is more along the lines of his sketches, just because like I want the new Eternia line to kind of go back to those roots of just kind of giving us really different figures. And I'm just trying to think about like how they can make him different. And yeah, he definitely has to come with his sword and his trident. And maybe he looks like just a massive Lords of Power Merman, which would be fine with me.
Oh yeah. I'd be super happy with that. Absolutely. Yes. I think he would look really cool. And what do you think in terms of Merman's color? Now, there's two schools of thought. Is he more bluish green or is he more greenish blue? For you, what would be your perfect Merman color?
Oh gosh, aren't those the same colors?
No, they're not actually, because one looks kind of like more teal and the other one looks more green. And Merman has been made in both versions.
Okay, I want the more blue, like the darker blue color Merman. Yes, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the same page as you.
Awesome. And
what do you all think in the chat? Would you want the more greenish version of Merman or the more blue one?
Yeah, Cora makes a nice point. With all of the Mermans coming out, they can be other Aquaticans, and it's like when the GI Joe Classified series released the movie Baroness figure, she didn't look anything like the Baroness. So I was like, okay, great, this is Baroness's sister. Like whatever.
Yeah, I know, that's actually so true. You can just make her a different character. It's funny because Collector Phil says that he purposely did not get the other two Revelation Merman, envisioning that one day, Collector Phil, you called it, we would get a new Eternia version, and there you are. I ended up selling my very first version of Merman, the one that was, the one with one eye. I just couldn't stand it. Like, I wanted a painted eye on him that badly, but when the second version came out, I was more than happy to get rid of the first one. So Nunya Biz wants to see the greenish blue. He's on the other side of the fence. Baroness of Toys says teal blue. Fantastic. Joe Coleman also says teal, or says blue. And then Chris says greenish. Oh my God. People are going back and forth. Steven says blue. A lot more people, I think, do like the blue. Yeah, the Filmation color was bluish green. Yep. So that's good. I guess, only time will tell. But at this point, we have seen, we know that these are coming, and we can't say how we know, but we know they're coming. We just don't know what they look like yet.
Yes. Also want to thank Collector Phil from joining the chat from Tokyo today.
Oh wow!
This is like, it's really a global audience. This is so cool.
That's incredible. What time is it over there, Collector Phil? I have no idea.
I just Googled it. It's like, I think it's around 12:30 in the afternoon or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you're like in the middle of your Saturday. That's great.
He's in the future.
Yeah, I know, right? Did you jump in a DeLorean to get there? I'm totally kidding.
There you go. Vexen Toys, Lords of Power, Merman color. Nice.
Yeah.
Dan is throwing something spicy in there. He wants some fuchsia. Right.
You're gonna have like a rainbow color of like Merman. That'd be kind of cool. Like a rainbow pack. Merman and like the aquatic people. 425 in Bosnia.
Hega, does that mean you're in Bosnia right now?
Oh my god, that's incredible.
If you are, that's cool.
And you're up at 4:25 in the morning. You are like so cool for being up and watching us in the middle of the night. Thank you.
That is awesome. All right.
Oh my gosh.
All right. We have another 2-bagger of new Eternia figures coming out, and these next ones, if I can go back to the show, we have new Eternia Thunder Punch He-Man and new Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor. Both of these were a surprise when the info crossed our eyes.
I know, and it's like kind of when you're looking at Battle Armor Skeletor, it's like duh, like about time, right?
Right.
Because I'm thinking it's incredible that we don't have one yet.
Right.
You know, Thunder Punch He-Man always figures like he's a variant that you're going to get way further down into the line. But Battle Armor Skeletor that we haven't gotten yet, we've had 2 versions of Battle Armor He-Man already, and we haven't gotten Battle Armor Skeletor yet. So
that's right.
This excited me so much that I went onto eBay while I was writing this article and I bought myself a Motu Classics Battle Armor Skeletor.
Oh, nice. Nice. I think those are coming down. I think those are coming down in price too, just with all of the new Eternia figures coming out. I think people are bailing on their classics figures, and you know, some love.
It wasn't too bad actually.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, we have to have a Battle Armor Skeletor in the house, which is cool.
Absolutely. It's incredible we don't have them yet. So this one is a super awesome. So excited for Thunder Punch He-Man. So am I, Baroness. I actually had made myself a custom Thunder Punch He-Man out of a Masterverse figure, and so I can get an idea already what he looked like. I had an extra 40th anniversary He-Man because he was cheap on clearance at Target, and I had an extra Origins Thunder Punch He-Man that I bought, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make myself one. So I threw the armor on him because it fits, and he looks really cool, and just kind of painted the top of the boots white. It was a really easy custom. Everything else was already the right color. And I got to tell you, Thunder Punch He-Man in the scale for Masterverse looks incredible.
Totally does.
I should have grabbed him before the stream.
No, it's all good. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, I think this is where my comment came from, where they're like, okay, any figure that they might make that is maybe from the classics era is going to be new Eternia style. And, you know, who knows if they're going to give a nod to his sketches, but I mean, his sketches look like what the classics figure pretty much looks like.
Absolutely. And, you know, the Baroness Toys brings up a really good point, Baroness, that both versions of Battle Armor He-Man that we have right now, they're probably not as classic as we would want. Yeah. So the one we just got, obviously, was from the Revolution cartoon series. And the first one we got was a new Eternia Battle Armor He-Man, but he had that bearded head, the face, which, I mean, I like. It's kind of cool, but it's not like quite that quintessential classic version of him. Yeah. And I think part of the problem is we still haven't gotten a perfect head for He-Man. Even with the 40th anniversary, we're getting close. Yeah, but we're still not quite there yet.
Yeah, they did a good head on the Revolution version, but that's still not the classic He-Man.
It's cartoony.
Yes, they're very cartoony, and yes, they are honing in. Yeah, I think they might have to have like Mark Hamill or something, like double, you know, basically scan his face when he was Luke Skywalker, because he looks like He-Man when he was.
Yeah, I mean, don't they have the technology to get it right? And it's not even a human face. It's a freaking toy from 1982 that they have a million of, and they could easily get the right proportion. I think, you know, they were so close with the 40th anniversary He-Man, but the head was still too narrow. Had they widened the head a little bit, they got the doughboy haircut right. They got the like cheekbones going and all of that kind of stuff, but his head was too skinny. All they had to do was widen out the proportion a little bit and they would have nailed it. You know?
Totally. I'm with you, Dave. I want to see exploding caps and Majin. I totally want the smell of the cap ring. Like that is actually one of my two favorite smells. The other one is rain on the sidewalk. You know, when it starts to rain, that's a lovely smell. But I also love the smell of caps.
That's so cool. I mean, it's part of our childhood, right? You can't forget what caps smell like.
Totally. And yes, Silver K hits the nose right on the button here. Perfect head is very hard to come by. I'm just going to leave it at that.
It is Silver K. It absolutely is. Yeah. It's always going to be a struggle.
Yes, they definitely do have the technology. And yeah, I can't wait to see what this one looks like. You know, will they be coming with that, you know, kind of punching effect that the Origins one and his Classics one had? Who knows? But
yeah. We'll see, but this is going to be a really cool figure. I hope they do an homage, obviously, to the caps, just like this Classics ones did. Give us some translucent punch effects, you know, translucent sword. All of that would be really cool. But they really have to nail the head. If it's going to be a new Eternia version of He-Man, I want the perfect head. Come on, Mattel. Give us a head pack so we can replace them all too.
Perfect head is very hard to come by, I've heard. So
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Moving on to Battle Armor Skeletor, and it's so funny, like just having this Power and Honor Foundations book. There are some really weird things and pretty effed up things that you'll come across in this book that I might show on another stream, but. Like, I took a picture of this because it's Battle Armor Skeletor riding Lord knows what. But it's kind of showing some of the sketches, like early sketches of his battle armor. So I thought that was neat.
Some kind of odd four-headed slug type figure or creature. I don't know what he's on, but I love this hashtag we want caps. That's going to be trending next.
That's awesome. Cora would totally buy Skeletor's weird mount. Yeah, this is really strange. In this book, there's like creatures like this gobbling up like I think one was gobbling up He-Man or something.
Oh my god!
I need to throw some pictures on here, but and Solar Iquia, even Classics took a while to nail his face sculpt. Not until the extra Ular head. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, so Classics.
I like that one actually. That's my favorite head sculpt of the 7-inch scale. Yeah, I have that one on my He-Man.
Looks like Skeletor went to Teddy Ruxpin. That's funny.
Oh god, that's a mess up Teddy Ruxpin.
I think the book is called. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. I think it's called the Power and Honor Foundation
book.
Yeah. It's actually an expensive book. You can get it on eBay for maybe $100, but it's totally worth it.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of history in there. Vex in toys. He's hoping for some real good head sculpts from these. Yeah, I would think so. And wait, isn't this supposed to be the year of Skeletor? Like, what happened to that?
I know. Maybe they're holding on to it for this year. Maybe we're going to get yet another retail release version with an articulated jaw, because all of those poor folks who did not get the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2-pack 40th anniversary did not get a Skeletor with an articulated jaw yet, because they never released him in a single package like they did He-Man. Which sucks. I wish they really did, because a lot of people missed out on that. But this is going to be your opportunity, Mattel, to give us all another Skeletor. And when they do that articulated jaw, they need to do a little bit tighter tolerance, because mine just like flops open and kind of stays there.
Yeah, they do.
Can perfect it this time.
Totally. Yeah, we do need a Skeletor 4-pack. That would be amazing. I thought they were going to do it. There's probably still time. I'm not going to count it out just yet, but you know, if it's not as expensive as the He-Man 4-pack, I will be getting one.
Yeah, I know, me too. I don't know why they're waiting, and the 40th anniversary of Skeletor single pack. Chorus says the same thing. They absolutely should have released that. I totally would have bought 2 because I did buy 2 of the He-Man to keep one on that nice box that he came in. I don't know. I mean, there's still a chance. Celebration came and went, and we didn't have a big Skeletor anything.
Right. Yeah. It was all right. But yes, wanted to plus in Matthias's comment around New Eternia and not about being like pure vintage design like classics. Yes, totally agree. I do want to see them do some different things because it's like, I just don't want this to be Classics 2.0. I know a lot of, if people missed out on Classics, I think they would like them to be that, but that's the spirit of New Eternia, and I wish they would kind of go back to those roots. And just like thinking about what the sketches for Ram Man look like, I mean, he looked like you know, kind of this like really like bearded small little trolley kind of dude. Like that would have been a weird figure to get, but it would have been neat because
I know.
it would have been true to his sketches, right?
Yeah, but then it's like, I don't know if it was too far removed from what his actual character looks like.
Yeah,
so it's nice to have those, you know, those homages to his roots, but not bring it back all the way to where it doesn't look like the character we know.
Yeah. Let's see. Yes, you grabbed one. You started sending me links to Mondo Scareglow, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to buy it now. Thanks.
Do we want to check in and take a look at the official images of Mondo Scareglow, because he looks awesome. His pre-order is up for another 4 more days, and if you haven't picked them up yet, maybe after you see all of these official images, he is gonna definitely get you in the mood, because this looks like they basically took your little 5.5-inch vintage Scareglow and blew him up to 15 inches and made him have a freaking glow-in-the-dark internal skeleton. I mean, how cool is that? He comes with the classic vintage head and a more kind of, you know, Mondoized, modernized head, and he looks cool with both of them. But this thing is awesome. And, you know, it costs about what a vintage complete Scareglow would cost you. So if you think about it that way, it's actually a pretty good deal. And he looks so cool. What do you think about him, Michael? Now that I know you actually picked them up before I did, because I just purchased them this morning.
Yeah, I didn't want to forget, but I think it's like they need you, like Mattel needs you as a spokesmouth for their figures, because I was not going to buy this. I was like, okay, sure, it's cool, it's a lot of money, but now I was like, oh dang, it looks really cool. And then you started sending me all these pictures, and I was like,
I know it's my fault. I know, and he is expensive and he's tall. Baroness, you're gonna have to find a spot for him, because I'm just gonna be like, look how cool. You're gonna regret not getting him. I'm being a mouthpiece for her too, because she's on the fence. But I think this Scareglow looks awesome, and this is just like a quintessential piece for your Motu collection, because he looks so classic.
He does. He does. Yeah, sorry to tell you, Collector Phil, no, I was unable to resist. I actually placed an order for one a few days ago because I didn't want to miss out. So yeah, it's funny because I was like, I've seen like the giant Star Wars figures that you have, and I was like, okay, I like those, but I actually would like Motu better. And there they go, making them.
Yeah. I know. I actually do have 3 giant Motu figures. They're the 12-inch versions that Mattel released a few years back. And Scareglow is going to go up on the top shelf next to them. So he'll look perfect with them.
Oh, he'll look great. He will look great.
And Frankie says it's going to look great with his blacklight. I'm sure he will. And Madgen says, remember the Visible Man toy from the 70s? I actually do. I think it was one of those things to teach you about like anatomy and stuff like that. Yeah. That's what it reminds me of. But so much better.
It's a lot better. I actually really hope that they this isn't just like a gimmick that they're doing because it's like cool, it's glow in the dark. If they start making 15-inch figures, I'm like,
I know. I wish they did them at 12-inch because then they would have been the same scale of the Mattel ones I already have.
Yeah.
That would have been helpful because now he's going to stick out and be taller than the rest of them. But that's okay. I really love him. I love when they plus up vintage figures, as you can tell, because I've got these Gentle Giants up here and some more over there. But they're really cool when you get like these big versions of the vintage toys that we had as kids. And the Motu ones are awesome. If you haven't picked up any of those from Mattel, the big 12-inch versions, they are incredible. I really recommend them.
Yeah, I
You
was
can still
looking at
look
these.
them down on eBay.
I was looking at these pictures, and I was like,
Oh my
"Yeah, I
god!
think you were just like, he's got his bones, and it's translucent." And I was like, "Okay,
I
yes."
know.
I don't think I
I
looked at it
know. That
that
is so
closely.
cool. It's
But man,
totally translucent plastic, and then his bones glow in the dark inside. I mean,
yeah,
that is really awesome.
a character teaching anatomy and slim, good body. I'd so buy a figure of him. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a guy on TV who used to wear like a anatomy like jumper or something like that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so. It's like back in the good old 80s. Yay.
Yeah, that's so cool. Anyway, so if you haven't picked them up yet, you're on the fence. You still got a couple days, but this ends, I believe, before noon on March 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Because Mondo likes to end their freaking timed pre-orders in the middle of the day.
That wacky
which I'm not going to say more about that, but
I know.
we know what that did to me last time.
Poor thing got hosed.
11:59 a.m. on March 5th.
Who does that? Who does that?
Who does that?
Yes, Dave. Yes, Scareglow, no bones about him. And with that, we're going to transition to our GI Joe coverage of Leap Day. And woohoo! Man, there was a lot of product, a lot of reveals, and some cool name-only reveals that were going up. But first, let's chat about these boxes for a sec, because we have to talk about boxes on this channel if we're talking about head. And so anyone who is an inbox collector, are you a fan of these boxes at all? I think they look very plain, and I'm so sad to see the art gone from the front of the box. What about you?
So I'll give you my 2 cents, and I know we got some art reveals late yesterday, so they're wrapped on like the side and the back. But I do gotta say that these boxes, if you look at it just from the front, look like they belong at Five Below. They look cheap. They look plain. They look like they should have one of those like really cheap plastic GI Joe figures inside.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed that they've changed the front of the packaging.
Yeah.
Sorry to say that, Hasbro. Your figures are really cool, but this was a total miss in terms of packaging. I don't like them at all.
Yeah. I don't either. And yeah, it sucks for a few reasons. Yes, they're boring, but they were doing some really cool things with the box art. And so that like making the front of it not have any art whatsoever takes away some of the like teasers that they've been doing on these packages. So it's like, I was like, oh, cool. Hasbro is doing what Mattel's doing with the Origins line, but I don't see them doing this quite a bit because there's not that much real estate on these back of the boxes too.
I know they actually, if you take a look at them, they do look like they belong at Big Lots and Five Below. That's why I was joking around. They do look cheap, like those non-articulated figures. Yes, they do, Baroness. If you take a look at, for example, the box for Torch, it's slimmer than what our old, single release windowed boxes used to look like. It's a little bit narrower. The old boxes had a little bit bigger real estate. They spread out the accessories a little more, and they had space for that artwork in the front, which made it exciting. So inbox collectors, they're discouraging them right now from getting these, unless they think people are just going to stick them on their shelf sideways, and then you don't need to buy two because you could have an empty box on your shelf. So they're slashing their sales in half right there.
Yeah. I agree. Like, it's funny, the like Mattel swung the other way, and I definitely agree with Steven here. The new Masterverse boxes are really good.
Yeah.
They have artwork with smaller windows. Yes, you can totally do that. It's like we don't need to see like the entire pack out, right? Because they always come in those
Exactly.
little cellophane packages now, or whatever those are, those paper. But bring the art back, and let's have a bigger window, or not a smaller window, so we can see that art and maybe get some more teases and get people excited, because like that was cool for a while.
It was, and like for I don't know for what reason, maybe they're trying to save money in their shipper boxes because they slimmed down the width of the single release figures. I don't know if that was a cost cutting measure. At first, we're like, oh, no art. Are they cutting down on artists and things like that? There's still art on the side and the back. So it begs the question, why did they do this? Now, Michael, you bring up a really good point. Had they, let's say, made the windows smaller and maybe covered up perhaps where the knees are or whatever on Torch, like made that all part of the box, they could have took that big real estate area, shrunk down the GI Joe logo a little bit, and put some awesome artwork on there instead. Made the front a lot more exciting. These look cheap. The package looks cheap. The figures look great, but the packaging looks cheap. From the front.
Totally agree. Joshua thinks, and like I kind of agree with this too. I think there's cost cutting going on, there's layoffs, but also like there's been a few box designs of late, like really back to back from each other, because we had our first box designs when they went to windowless packaging. They had like V1 windowless, and I think they moved to V2. Now they're back to windowed, and there's like 4 different box styles now.
So I don't understand, why they did this. They could have still slimmed down the boxes, and they're going to still have to print art on the sides and the back or whatever. They could have wrapped it around the front. It wouldn't have cost any more. They could have still kept the box as slim as they did. Whereas the rat would have been cool. I know. Oh my God, if he had a little tiger costume, how cute would that have been?
Yeah. Well, this is saving Dan some money, because he's not going to buy 2 anymore, because like why would you buy 2 of these?
Yeah. I actually really like that Tiger Force set. I was surprised that it sold out on Hasbro Pulse, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, is it still up on Target's website? We do have links in our article and on our shop page for it.
Do you mean for pre-order?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that I've pre-ordered one, and there was a good move on them for packing those 2 together, because who's going to buy another Roadblock anyway? So, but moving on, they did have some really cool digital render reveals. We finally got to see the Cobra Ferret and the Ferret Scout driver, which is really cool. So I love when they were talking about some of the things that they were doing with the Ferret, like having some suspension like action going. So they're really thinking about the design and kind of how this plays and feels in your hands.
Yeah. I think it looks great. The color on the Ferret to me is a little dark. I was hoping it was going to be kind of a brighter blue color. But I think the design of it, the size, the scale, all of that looks great. And it's really interesting that they're giving it the female Ferret driver.
I think I think folks were bringing this up when we were talking about the new Eternia figures, that there needs to be more ladies in these lines. So this is another way to do that. And I think she's got some like what is it, Cobra Stinger driver gray going on too. So looking forward to that, because that's basically what the vamp, right?
Yeah, because that just leads us to, they're going to give us a Cobra Stinger and a vamp driver. I mean, and a Stinger driver, because they did do the vamp. They'll recolor it, and same as what we had with all of these red and black themed, hiss type figures. We're probably going to start getting these kind as well. So that is really awesome to see the gray tones.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Did we miss something, Mr. Larry Holmes? Did your son say hi and we missed it? I'm sorry. We
Oh, I'm
did.
so sorry. Hello, Larry, and hello to your son. I'm so happy that you guys are tuning in.
Yeah.
Good to see you in the chat. That is awesome.
Awesome. So very cool digital render reveal. The next one coming is so the next three are the retro figures. So it's funny because I thought that like the first iteration of the Cobra Island Beachhead was good, but then I was like, oh wait, he actually looks like more like his vintage figure. So they didn't do too bad on the first go around, and this one looks gonna look really good.
I'm actually really happy with this version of Beachhead for a couple things. If you work your way down, his flak jacket is like much more slimmer and it looks a lot more like the vintage one. It's not that big puffy thing with a billion pockets everywhere. This is much more vintage inspired. And then if you work your way down to his pants, his camo is a lot brighter, I guess, if you want to say like those browns and greens. It looks much more like the vintage figure rather than the darker brownish green camos he had on his legs of the first version.
Yeah, this one looks really great, and I was thinking that they might just recolor the flak jacket from his Cobra Island one, but it's actually a whole different piece. Yeah,
it is a whole new piece, which is really nice, and it's hard to tell. Does he come with this little block brick phone? Is that what's? Or no, that's just a silencer.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if he does or not.
Because that would have been a cool homage to the vintage figure, which is going to lead me to another complaint I have on one of the next figures. Because obviously that's one of the classic pieces, right?
Yeah, it actually might be that green piece that is next.
It might be, or that's a silencer for the.
I don't know if they put a square silencer on a.
They have. They have, because you see that little peg on there. It might be like for it.
We shall see.
We shall see. But if it is his little like walkie-talkie or like brick phone,
right. He didn't Firefly came with the green.
Oh my god, what am I doing? Oh my god. I am so out of it. You're so right. Firefly came with the brick phone, not Beachhead. It's the head that threw me off. I knew that.
All good.
It's been a long week, Michael, and thank you for who pointed that out. You're right.
No, Mr. Toy Bounty Hunter. An All Music fan loves that he comes with display stands, and actually Rob 2023 has made this comment several times. It's like, why don't they pack all of the GI Joe classified series figures with stands?
Yeah, they should. They absolutely should.
All right. Moving on to another retro figure, we have the retro eels, and what are your thoughts on this one, Toy Sorceress?
It's like exactly the same, except I think, and it's hard to tell, it might be a slightly darker gray, and with less accessories.
Why would they do this?
I don't know. And they even said it's pretty much the same figure. The only thing I can think of is a lot of people missed out on the eel. He's hard to get. He's sold out everywhere. He's selling for a lot of money. And so now they're like, okay, chance number 2. We'll re-release him again, throw him on a retro card, and people have another chance to get him.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Like, they could have done something really cool, because like there is no, like, that harpoon gun that he has looks nothing like his vintage harpoon gun.
I know. They could have changed that.
Yeah.
Too much head top for the Sorceress. Yes, it is. My brain is fried. They don't call it Friday for nothing.
That's Friday. Oh my gosh, I've never thought of that.
I always make that joke when I'm tired on Fridays.
That's hilarious. Yes, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, buy the heck out of these things, and I'm kind of coming to understand that like the retro card back line is sometimes it just means you're getting a repack just on a retro card. So like sometimes they'll make extra accessories like Beachhead, and then sometimes you get hosed and they just repack a eels that is a little bit darker gray.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So But he's fine. I think it's great that people are going to get a second chance to get him. Let's give it to Hasbro for retooling and redoing Duke, for example.
That's true.
He looks classic.
Yes.
We don't have a classic Duke yet. We're going to get one in the retro Duke. Kudos to them, and also with Scarlet. So those two were totally retooled, even though they use the Glenda Buck. We know that. It's great that they did that for the retro figures. So I guess they are doing some cost-cutting measures and kind of just packaging this guy.
Yeah. Any word on the retros pre-order? No. Actually, you know what? There is I think Chaz the Guru has a lot of the pre-order dates figured out, and so they're further out. We do cover a lot of Chaz's stuff that he covers on Instagram, and so I think if you go on our website, you might find an article that has the pre-orders. But yeah, Dan, they're kind of hit and miss on the retro figures, I think, at this moment. Mr. Toy Bounty Hunter has 5 eels, and he's getting 5 of these. They don't have the retro gear. I'm just getting one to keep on card. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to stop me from buying one because I like the retro carded figures because I like the cards themselves. And hopefully I'm glad that Hasbro.
Absolutely. And Baroness of Toys makes a really good point. Now that they've axed Walmart and they're exclusive on the retro card backs, the retro card backs are getting thicker, as the Baroness says. And so that means that the regular releases are getting cheaper packaging in return.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Jesus.
I love that. I guess we have to pay for those thicker retro card backs somehow, right?
Yes. And Dan makes a good point. Only new thing is the stand. Well, actually, it's not. They have a blue little rope or whatever that is instead of the red one, Dan.
Oh yeah. They changed the paint color on it, right?
Yeah.
Because before I had a red.
So lame.
This next one, I'm gonna just complain all the way home.
Do it.
I love the Snow Serpent. When he first came out, I was bummed out that he had dark blue webbing, and I was like, why isn't it bright blue like the retro, with like the vintage figure? And then when they announced the name only reveal of the Snow Serpent, saying he's going to be on a retro card, I was so excited. I'm like, yay, we're going to get one with bright blue webbing and his tennis shoe, like his tennis snowshoe shoes, like the vintage figure, like the big tennis rackets.
Yeah.
No, they freaking went and they give us less accessories, a ton less, because like, look at that pack out. No snowboard, no bazooka launcher, no backpack, or the little missiles and all that stuff. All that gets wiped out, and then we get the same freaking modern snowshoes.
Yeah.
Michael, what do you think? Sorry, I already went off about this today.
It's so lame. I think they could have they could make these retro figures like really, really special. And I think, beyond the card, it's making those accessories like the tennis racket shoes, and also like that missile with the stand is so classic, right? And so it's like so easy for them to cast these parts and 3D print them. Like they changed the color on the stand, big whoop. I don't like the modern shoes, but it's like, come on. It's like,
only a couple little tweaks they had to make. They're saving a ton of money because we get a lot less accessories with this guy. I mean, a lot less. And yet they didn't give it to us. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. I want to plus in Crimson Vader 007. So I think he's made this a couple times. Do we think either the Snowcat or the Thunder Machine are coming this year, and how many vehicles would we see in a given year? There are rumors of a Thunder Machine. There are rumors of a Snowcat. I'm not sure if they're coming this year, but I don't know. I don't have room for all these vehicles, and so I hope they don't make a ton of them. I hope they make smaller ones like the Ferret. Like that would be yeah,
absolutely. I totally agree. Even though I would love a Snowcat, it's probably going to be too big. So
yeah, it's like, why does it come with so many guns and no rocket launcher? Like the pack out makes 0 sense whatsoever.
It makes 0 sense. I feel like they just threw some extra accessories in there and then just recolored somebody's backpack. I don't know whose backpack that is, and then gave us the same solution.
I know, right? It's not even the one that he came with in the previous version. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, I don't get it. Although, I'm going to still buy probably two of these because I love the colors on this guy, but his pack out is a disappointment. That's all I got.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Frankie wants the version 2 yellow and purple one. Yeah. So when they start going off the rails and kind of going into the 90s versions of these figures, that's going to be like, okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah. And the Baroness of Toys, yes, the vehicles are going to be huge. I know that we are just like designing our spaces, right? And they're just like, they're full right now, right?
I'm done. Like, all my stuff's unpacked. All the shelves are full. I ain't got no more room. So that's it.
Yeah. Actually, Nuno Biz, Kenzo's Creations would have, I think he would know this because he 3D prints a lot of figures, and he actually like kit bashes some parts from Motu figures together to fit in the 3D prints. So I'm guessing it's probably expensive because one, those machines are expensive, and the plastic that to print them is also expensive too. So,
yeah.
Anyways,
I love Clint's comment because he said if they come out with Admiral Keelhaul for classified, they better come out with his vehicle in classified scale. What was his vehicle, Michael? The USS flag. No way.
Keelhaul would be USS flag.
Come on, man. Clint, we know you're joking.
Yes, that would be like a 70-foot aircraft carrier if it was inside.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
That would be funny.
It comes with those really weird glasses too.
Yep, anyway. Love those.
Yeah.
Totally
love them. It's so funny because
he's still cool.
Yeah,
he's still really cool. I love his bright blue colors, but those damn snowshoes. I mean, can I just get some little toy-sized tennis rackets and strap them to his feet? Paint them white.
You know what this opens up the door for is just like customizers, like or 3D
Gridiron Studios
artists. Yes, like Gridiron Studios or like Yurko. If he ever does any GI Joe stuff, he can totally make these tennis shoes.
Absolutely. If he does, I'll absolutely buy a set. And Clint, we know you're joking. That is why I made the punchline.
Yeah. So looking forward to getting these. And it's funny because I do share Giraffe's sentiment. It's like I'm still going to get them. And that's probably what they want to hear people say. It's like, yeah, they're not going to not get it because it's not going to come with these things. But it sure would be nice to have them come with these accessories.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. It's funny. Lego minifig tennis rackets. I wonder if those would be the right size.
That's awesome. All right. So they did have some name only reveals. So we're going to transition from the digital render reveals over to the name only reveals. And I want to just really highlight Stronox Customs just knocking it out of the park on these customs because these are GI Joe classified series scale. We have all of Stronox's information in the description for this video. He is an amazing customizer that I've known for many, many years. And we look to either him or Yojo ARAH on Instagram to see like what is in the future for the GI Joe classified series. And they said that the Saw Viper is definitely coming, which is a cool figure, cool paint app. Happy that they're bringing him to the line.
And you love this one, Michael, because he's purple. Purplish. Magenta, whatever. Close to purple.
Yeah, I guess I would like the version 2 of the Snow Trooper then, or the Snow Serpent, because he's yellow and purple. And it's kind of like Major Blood, too. I think he had like either yellow and black or yellow purple deco, too. So anyway.
Yeah. So this is a very cool version and awesome custom by Stronox on this one.
Yes.
So, another army builder.
Yeah. So when we have name only reveals where we get information on future figures that are coming from the line, we usually just pull from these customizers. And we also got two names on the list here. One is Dial Tone and the other one is Frag Viper. Both are Stronox Customs. And it's like, if they made these, like these are the like 100% buy.
Oh yeah. I am super excited for Dial Tone. He is going to look awesome in that scale. I can't wait to see his little communication device and everything.
Yeah, he's gonna look cool. It's funny if you look at the description of Stronox and stuff, he put a magnet in the pack of dial tone,
wow.
so it's not like stuck on his back with a peg. It's actually magnetically attached, which is really cool.
Wow.
It's
so
awesome.
Rob 2023 saw Viper kill Doc in the comics. Say what? Doc doesn't want to get killed off. I was reviewing him today.
It happens.
I know.
Ernest definitely wants a dial tone. Yeah, he's a classic figure. I forget if he was also in the Mission Brazil line. So we have to think about like, okay, if they're making dial tone, what other variants of dial tone exist? So they can, hopefully they don't come out with all these variants back to back. But one of my other like favorite vintage figures is the Frag Viper. So I love like he needs to come with that grenade lobber and a set of grenades, like and look pretty much exactly like Stronox built him.
Yeah, I know that would be really cool. And if you weren't paying attention during the live stream, Emily miscounted on the number of reveals for the pre-orders, and at the end she's like, well, I miscounted, so to make up for it I'm going to throw out another name only reveal, and she's like, Frag Viper's coming, but further down the line. So that was kind of a freebie.
Yeah, that was awesome because I definitely was not paying attention to that.
Yeah, I caught that because I was listening at work. But awesome. Totally love the stash. The more stashes we have in the line, the better, Baroness. That is awesome. And Dial Tone, Giraffe, he's in Mission Brazil pack, and need a cassette tape as well.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. They did that. They need to do the full nod.
Big shout out to our friend Brick Something for being a member for 11 months. Oh my gosh, it's been that long. Oh, that's awesome. Sending love to my homies at Toy Habits. Brick, so good to see you, my friend, and congratulations for being a member for so long. That's awesome.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And too, there's a toy show in San Jose this weekend, but I can't make it because I'm going to be at my mother-in-law's. No.
I want. I know, that's why we're on tonight. That sucks.
Yes. So all right.
So up there
what's
this weekend? Is it going to be raining by you this weekend?
I don't know. I never pay attention to the weather because I just don't.
It's going to be raining all weekend for us.
Okay, unfortunately. For you.
So.
Yeah. All right. Night Force dial tone. That would be interesting. Anything's possible. All right. So on to the reveals. I want to kick the reveals like off with a bang for the pre-orders, and man, the HMS, which I totally did not catch the name change. This one slipped by me too. This one is so awesome. This is a honkin' piece of machinery and missile system.
Yeah, this thing's really cool. It's so funny because I did catch the name change. It's Heat Seek missile system, and with the Techno Viper. And so I was writing it up, and I was helping Michael with the graphic, and he sent it back and said, "Oh, I fixed this for you. You misspelled it. It's a SMS." I'm like, "No, it's not."
So crazy.
So they did change the name. It was hilarious. We had a little thing back and forth on it, but it's funny how they totally changed it to an HMS, which it's odd because we were all expecting it to be the SMS. But the thing looks really cool. It's kind of pricey though. Yeah. I know it's like a small scale vehicle, if you want to call it that, with a $25 figure. What do you think of the price tag on this one, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little more than I expected. I might have expected this more in like the $54 price point. But you know, if it's sub 100, like it's a win for me.
And what'd you think of the size? It's kind of big.
It is big.
I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, I think Lenny said that missiles are around 9 inches long. I do have the vintage SMS. It's funny because they introduced this as the SMS when they did the digital render.
They did.
Maybe they just didn't renew the trademark on this one and lost it again.
Oh my God, do you think that might be why? And it's funny because they spelled Heat Seek HEET.
Yeah, it's how it's spelled on the vintage missiles too. So I don't know. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe they just wanted to kind of bring that into
yeah,
it. But man,
yeah. Like
I
it's a
so
cool homage to it,
yeah,
and then they change the name. So
yes. So it's funny. I was chatting with Rob 2023, and he's like, "How many did you order?" And like, I ordered 3 of these. So
you
he was
did?
like, "Well, yeah, because if they have the vamp, they're gonna make the stinger, right? So you need something,
Oh,
you need something else to tow on your Cobra vehicles." And I also think the Ferret might have a tow hitch too. So
wow. Well, you're gonna absolutely have the new space for it, so plan accordingly for your shelving. And Dave Chanelli says, Toy Sorcerers, you can have Mossman give the Joes a lesson in camouflage.
yeah.
So Mossy's gonna help out.
Oh, there we go.
Let them teach them a lesson on how to camouflage themselves. But yeah, this thing's really cool, but it's huge. Like
Yeah.
the his tank, and I'll tell you, I don't know if you're planning on putting that on a table or not. It does fit on your Billy bookcase, depth
Yeah.
wise, but it's gonna take up most of one shelf.
Okay.
So this thing behind it, that's it. Like that's a whole shelf right there.
Yeah. I thought my logic was sound. Brick, yes. Missiles for days bring the heat. Yeah, there's something about the black and red that I really, really love. And I was like, I need 3 of these. So like
You're so funny. It's gonna become your next what's it
trouble
called?
bubble, right?
Bubble bubbles.
Yeah. I did end up returning 6 of the Python Patrol ones because I'm like, they're gonna go on clearance. And so
Yeah.
they're still shelf warming at Target. So I'm just waiting.
Yeah, they are mine too. And I only bought one so far. I might just stick to one because it looks good on the shelf that way. So.
Oh my gosh, Mothman is starting to show up on clearance at some Walmarts. I still haven't seen him in my Walmart.
Yeah, I only see them in one Walmart in my whole region. But Neil, it's the new measurement system. When you have a new toy room, you start measuring everything in Billy bookcase increments. It makes it really easy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why I have a 63-inch wide table, because that's the length of like 2 Billies put together.
Exactly. Like it's like everything's in Billy like units. It's a 31.5, I think, is the width of one full-size Billy bookcase.
Yeah. Giraffe, yes. I hope this would be interesting to have an HMS get towed by the Thunder Machine. That's just
Oh
weird.
my god, that would be pretty cool. But it needs to be different colors, right? Yeah. It has to have those dreadnought, like, blues and reds and oranges and stuff.
When are they going to do the dreadnought repaint of the Ram cycle? Come on, that's coming, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to get their money's worth. We don't have enough Ram cycles yet.
No, and we definitely don't have more repaints of this guy, Roadblock. No, we do. We have plenty. So yes, really interesting how these guys came about. They were photos were leaked the day before again, but also I think Target had them up in the morning, and it was funny to watch like Emily and Lenny's spiel. They're like, "Oh, they're going up on Target for pre-order at 1 p.m."
Like we already ordered them like 2 hours before that.
Done.
And it's funny because they did go up on Target early in the morning, and they also went up on Hasbro Pulse at the same time, but people didn't really know about it. Some people were buying it already, and then when the pre-orders launched at 10 o'clock in the morning our time, it sold out right away because they had already been selling all morning long.
Yes.
On Hasbro Pulse.
That's crazy. Yeah. And our wonderful community like always alerts us to stuff like this. Dan Diego especially is just like on the ball with this stuff. So really appreciate all the comms. Even like some stuff slips by our radar. So it's always a good thing just to let us know just in case it does.
Yeah. I mean, we try and cover everything. Wow. It's been sold out on Target now.
Oh, really? Dang. Wow.
I just checked. Yesterday it was still available. It's gone
crazy.
now.
I guess people want to complete their Tiger Force.
I guess they do, but you can't complain because that friggin' tripwire with that awesome tiger camouflage all over his flak decker right there in the front looks so good.
It does. I think that's what's
getting people. Like he looks really cool. I like it.
Totally does. Yeah. It's funny going back to Dan Diego's comment. I wish they really like maybe put the rat in there with like a Tiger Force. Made him like
Yeah.
orange or that'd
Like
be
a
cute.
little jacket or something on
Yeah,
them. That would have been so cute.
that
They
would have
could
been.
have. It's such a tiny piece of plastic.
Yes.
They already have the mold for it. That was
Yeah.
a miss. That's
It
okay.
was a myth. Good on Hasbro for wanting to pair Tripwire with Roadblock again. So anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yes.
And
Um,
a big thank you to Ryan
oh,
Cole. Wow, gifting 5 Toy Habits memberships. Ryan, you are awesome. You're an amazing crew member, and that is so sweet of you. Thank you so much, Ryan, for your generous gift. And to 5 of you lucky members out there, it
that's
got
awesome.
5 Toy Habits memberships. So that
Oh,
is going
thank
to be
you,
really cool.
Ryan. Very awesome of you.
Tripwire is showing his skivvies. I love that. It looks like
Yeah.
he's wearing his Tiger Force underwear. I love that
Yeah. It's
artist.
like he
That's
got
hilarious.
dressed totally backwards. So funny.
Yes, he did. It is too funny. It kind of reminds me of like superheroes wearing their underwear on the outside.
Right.
It's what they do.
Not a far shot, not a far cry.
Exactly. And Neil Ryan is such a sweetie. So nice of him. So
He
nice
is.
of him.
He is. All right. Moving on to a. Oh, jeez. How does that? This is awesome. He's got his
One
underoos
more Steven's comment. He's got underoos on. I love it.
I know there's always a delay, and I'm like, do I move on now or just wait?
No, it's okay. Go for it.
All right. We have Jinx, which is
Mhm,
a nod to her movie appearance. And
mhm.
man, the diorama shots were literally on fire because Torch was burning the whole house down in the background.
Yeah,
uh,
this one's cool. I had a lot of fun with Jinx climbing on the side of a
yeah,
building.
that was
I used that on quite a bit of our graphics over the last 2 days because I just thought she looked really cool doing that.
yeah.
Although I did not pre-order this one, I'm kind of cutting back on the ninjas, I guess, in the line. Trying to be a
And
little bit more selective because we have so many classified figures now. I have to start cherry picking. But she's cool. I mean, I think she was a pass for you too.
she was a path. I'm not a fan of most ninjas except for Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, and also
Yeah.
getting into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
So that's all those, yeah.
talking at two sides of my mouth here, but it's yeah. I think you're right. Like the ninjas are a hard pass for me, but I think she came out really well, and that tattoo that's Tampa on her looks amazing.
Yeah, she does look great. I think she turned out really, really lovely and compared to the vintage figure is a great homage to her. Again, just personally, I'm trying to start cherry picking what I'm buying. So I tried not to pre-order everything that came out yesterday. So this was one I passed on. But she does look really cool. They did a good job.
She does look cool, and I was trying to. Does anybody know why she has a tattoo? I forget if they said, but I was trying to look up some images from Jinx in the
Mhm.
movie, and I'm trying to see if she has a tattoo there. Oh,
Yeah,
she might actually. Maybe it's from the movie. I don't know.
it might be. And then also the bandana wrapped around her eyes. Is
Yeah,
that like a okay?
yeah. It's cool, yeah, and also her weapons too are a nod to kind of her role in the GI Joe movie too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Fairness is calling you out. Michael, you so do like ninjas, but you're being selective. It
I know.
depends
Yeah,
what kind of ninjas. Turtle ninjas,
that's
I think
I hate
he's
I
into.
hate that it depends answer.
Exactly. It depends. Uh, Tattoos are new, I guess so. And I think Rob says, I think
Yeah,
she had sleeves on the vintage and in the
good.
cartoon she did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, and another ninja that is cool that I also passed on is Night Creeper. So again,
Yeah, me
they
too.
they did a nod to his vintage figure really well, uh,
Hmm.
but he is purple. So there is a chance that
Yeah.
maybe if he goes on clearance that I might get him, but not
Hmm.
an essential ninja for me. But I thought they executed the design really, really well.
Yeah. I think they did do them pretty well. I tend to like the figures that at least like have some eyes showing. I don't know why for me when they have just like kind of that blank like face mask covering it, it's like less desirable of a figure to pick up. So I kind of passed on this one. as well. And again, just trying to be selective, but they did a really good job on it. And then, Dan asks a really good question. Do you think
Mhm.
the leaked pictures of Marauders will show up next week on Walmart's Cancel Con? Do you think it's odd that Hasbro Team never covers those exclusives? It is kind of weird, but
Yeah, you're right. That is odd. That's a good point that you made, Dan. Anything's possible. We're actually trying to get a beat on some of the Walmart GI Joe exclusives, so we're still looking. And yeah, don't hold your breath on. I really hope they're not getting the Marauders line because
yeah.
they're an S show. So I'll just leave it at that.
I know. Steven says, yes, that's why I don't like barbecue. No eyes.
Yeah, it's what is it? You like eyes and brains hanging out of your figures, right?
Eyes and no brains. If it has brains, it's a pass for me.
Yeah, and I think
Right.
I'm with All Music fan too on this one. It's like I think as the line gets bigger and bigger and bigger, I think gonna go with some more mainline characters and not some of the ninja-y kind of
yeah. Like kind of sub characters, exactly. And I think Rob 2023 has a good point. I think Target did get the Mad Marauders barbecue, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe those.
Oh, you're right. Target. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They did.
Good call, Rob.
Yes. Yes. All right. Moving on to a much cooler figure, in my opinion, Doc. Doc came out great.
He is cooler. Sorry, this is the Ultimates version, but Doc is agreeing with you. I love this version of Doc. He's awesome.
This Doc is really cool. They're kind of leaning into his pacifist thing with his flare gun and his taser. Love the foldable stretcher. I thought that was a neat addition.
That was brilliant that it folds in half and he can wear it as a backpack. How cool is that?
Yes.
So he can carry it around with him. I mean, I thought that was such a great idea.
It's awesome. I love, he was basically a tan uniform in his vintage figure. So I love the pops of oranges that they have on there. Also with the flare gun too. So I like the color additions too. Yeah,
I think that's pretty cool. The flak jacket that he's wearing is a little kind of bulky on him. I wish that was like slightly slimmer, but I think he still looks really cool. I love all of his pack out and his awesome green lensed sunglasses, which is totally classic for him. Hopefully they stay on better than buzzers do. Don't just fly right off his face.
Yeah.
But maybe with the helmet on his head, that'll help his sunglasses stay on.
That's funny. Natural Nate Marvel, is he wearing Buzz-Off's helmet? Yeah, it looks like his helmet with the eyes baked into there. Who do you guys like better, Doc or Lifeline? I'm more partial to Lifeline because
me too.
Yeah, I have such fond memories of him as a kid. So I was like,
so do I. I love his vintage figure. I'm gonna be so stoked when he comes out for the classified line because I just love like his bright red and white outfit. But Doc is an awesome figure too, and I really love Doc. But between the two, I'd have to go with Lifeline slightly over Doc.
Yes. Good point, Joshua. They should make his packaging an envelope mail away. It's like, why don't they do that? Like, that'll be so cool just to just have some variety. If they're making these very boring boxes now, put some pizzazz in it.
Yeah, they absolutely should. And Clint is hilarious. He needs to come with tourniquets and COVID testing kits and scale. Oh my god.
Allison Troy is slipping into the chat. The retro toy princess. I've always loved Doc more. Lifeline more superhero outfit. Doc look more like a real doctor. You're not incorrect on that.
Yeah, that's actually really true. And it's funny because the Ultimates version of him came with a little comic book, which I think is hilarious. Because they like to read comics. So it's nice to have two different versions of Doc.
Yeah, and they actually look very different from each other. So I'm glad that I'm.
Oh yeah,
It's weird. It comes with a flak jacket, but
it's very animated looking. So it's great to have those two different style figures for your shelf.
Yes. And so, all right. So moving on to the last two, let's cover Naugahyde first. I thought this
Mm.
one came out amazing.
Oh my god, I love this figure. Naugahyde was one of my favorites as a kid growing up. He's my favorite Dreadnought, and I love that. Pork Belly has a nose ring. It's hilarious, and also the little monkey has an eye patch on him. It is so funny, and I love the humor of it. I think this pack out is incredible, and it's such a wonderful homage to the vintage figure. They nailed it on here. Yobo is so funny, like like he's riding on top of Pork Belly on a lot of these pictures.
It's very cute. Yeah,
it's very cute.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I think they nailed the figure, but also the pack out is insane here. I think part of the stuff is a reuse of low light weapons, but they fit him perfectly. Like love the compound bow and just we have more dreadnoughts with just their midriff showing. It's like the vest without a shirt underneath, right?
I wanted to share something on the screen that I don't know that if I can just take over the screen for a second, that everyone was aware of. But if you look closely at the pack out that comes with Naugahyde, and you take a look at his arrows, his little quiver, and even his rifle case over here, there's so much deco and paint variation in all of this. They went all out. Like if you look at the arrows, they're brown tips with like different varying greens in the actual arrowheads or head, the sticks of the arrows. There's varying colors in his quiver as well. And then his little case, which is probably similar or the same that they use for low light, has like 3 or 4 different colors in it, which is incredible. It's like brown on the inside, bright green kind of along the edges. It's got darker green on the outside of it, and then all of his equipment on the interior has varying colors as well. It looks so good. Like they did an incredible job on this, and just like the amount of detail on his accessories is insane. It really is.
It's awesome.
And I'm just talking about, this is just his accessories, and then when we get to the actual figure, like my god, like take a look at that. He looks great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, they did a great job. I guess this is where the money is going instead of the packaging, right? I've actually want them to pour more into the figures than the packaging per se. But man, I think he even has a tattoo tampoed on his skull too on one side, which is very
cool. He does. I know, that looks really awesome. Because they had to do
funny.
Something
I love when you put the graphics for this together. You stuck the hat on Naugahyde.
I did, because so it was the night before. We didn't get any official release images. We had like I think one or two images of Naugahyde, and so he was like bald. Or it was probably this one right here. I think this was the only picture we got the night before the releases, and so I was like, Naugahyde has to have his hat. So when I did the graphics, I actually took the hat off and then I popped it on his head.
That was cute.
He's gonna be wearing it.
Yeah, Dan texts me about Naugahyde's knees probably on a daily basis, but yeah, he is not a fan of the lower half of Naugahyde from the waist down. So
he did have like a big shin guard, like where he had a knife sheath on the vintage figure, though.
Yeah, Dan. Come on. Yes, Joshua, yes, he does look like Sheamus for a little bit from the WWE. So it's funny.
Big
Sheamus
mutton chops.
There we go. Oh my god, yes, the mutton chops. Yes. Still hate to see he's going on about the knee pads again.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to give Dan some therapy about that.
Yeah, it's actually it's Roadblock's lower body that they use for it. So they kind of reused that and just made him in his classic jeans color. So
yeah, I just think he looks incredible. So
he looks great.
Super happy with him.
Yeah,
I love that monkey.
Yeah.
Yobo, I guess that's his name.
It's cute. It's very cute. All right, and I think our last one on the list is Torch, another one with mutton chops or whatever those are.
Exactly. It's like that 70s, 80s mutton chop look.
Oh yeah, he came out amazing. Like I think this is the standout figure of the line, probably next to Naugahyde.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love how Torch came out. I love all of his flame accessories that he comes with. They're really cool, translucent. I hope they don't weigh too much and they don't just like weigh the figure down
Yeah.
because you have to display them with that flame throwing effect.
Oh,
Like
totally.
it's a
It's
must.
so funny. I just noticed like on the back of his
Mhm.
pants, I was like, oh, they're colored orange, but they're flames, and he has flame tampo tattoos on the back of his, or like it's
Oh
his
my God, you're
flames going
right.
all
On
over
his
his
wrist,
form.
right?
Crazy.
That is really awesome. I love that. And did you notice how they took away the removable sunglasses on this one and just left it as part of his face sculpt? I'm actually relieved because as cool as the removable sunglasses are on the other figures, they're always flying off and they don't
Mhm.
fit well. And this is so integral to Torch's look that I'm glad that it's just part of his face sculpt.
Yeah, they like the details on like everything, the back of the vest with those like silver studded details. They made a
Mhm.
mention of that in the live stream, like the people
Yeah.
that have to like individually paint those things on. It's like,
I know there was a lot of paint hits on that. That's a lot of work. Definitely Motorhead.
yes.
Um, we absolutely, Varanus, we need a monkey wrench now. Is that the
Oh my
only
gosh.
one of the only ones that we're missing? There's monkey wrench, and then there's Zanzibar, I think. Oh, and Xandar. So we
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
got 3 dreadnoughts left, but monkey wrench has to be next.
Yeah, we have there's like the dreadnoughts that were produced for the vintage line, but there's also like Heart Wrencher and some of the other like vintage
Mhm.
like comic-y ones too. Like we need to have them all.
Yeah, and Dan is
Oh, and Road
hilarious.
Pig.
YMCA. He definitely looks like one of the guys from YMCA. The
Yeah, you
Village
can't forget
People.
about Road Pig either. So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Road Pig's coming too. That's true.
and
Right.
Thrasher.
And Thrasher. I miss Thrasher. Sorry. Okay, so we have a handful of Dreadnoughts still left, but
Yes,
yeah.
there are quite a bit.
But
But
these are cool.
yeah, I guess what was your take on the kind of overall presentation of the GI Joe fan stream?
I think it was fine. You know, it's kind of in par with what they've always done, and it was great knowing what was coming
Yeah,
because it made it easier for us. But I'm just talking a toy tuber's life here because we don't get to just sit back and enjoy the
right.
stream like all of you guys do. We actually have to like do stuff with it, take notes, write articles, find information. It's a lot for us to do, so I don't get to enjoy it in the same way that everybody else does. But I think they did a great job, and it was nice getting a preview of all the things that were going to be released the day before.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I was
Mhm.
I'm thankful that these images are coming this
Yeah,
early-ish because it's like it takes a while to prep content, and it's like
yeah.
getting from a fan stream to a produced like article that's actually interesting to read takes some time and some energy.
Oh, it does. It does. And to get the graphics together and then just the mechanics of like downsizing images and all this other stuff that nobody thinks about, that all takes a lot of time.
Totally
Getting it
does.
ready.
Yeah. Rick, oh yeah, we could totally put the village people together with like, yeah, with Shipwreck Spirit Wild
Oh my
Bones.
god, that would be like a really cool like photo. I need to do that. Shipwreck Spirit Wind Tobu. That'd be great.
Yeah, we do need more render reveals, but they're actually
Mhm.
they're kind of they're running low on name only reveals. So I think they have to do some more pipeline reveals before we get more render reveals because we
Yeah.
gotta keep the line going somehow.
hmm they still got a long runway of characters to do,
Yeah,
so
they
we
do.
ain't done yet.
No. Yeah, I thought the same. Like the presentation was on par. I love seeing the actual figures shown off, which is nice.
hmm
To kind of get
Yeah.
some details that we might not see maybe coming through the dio shots or the images.
Mhm.
But yeah, you get to see the scale of the figures like the SMS is
Yeah, in their
muy
hand.
grande.
I think it's great. They're all really comfortable with each other. Giraffe says it right there that he likes the Joe team. They seem really comfy now, talking about their product. Transformer people are stiff, and the Star Wars people seem depressed. That's kind of sad to say, but it's sort of true. Yeah, they
Yeah,
have a really fun time with it, and it feels like they really like their product.
yeah,
They're really into all the characters and the lore and all of that. So I think it's great. Like they're fans. They're true fans of the product that they're producing.
Yeah. I don't think he was calling Transformers fan stiffs. It's the people that are on the Transformers live streams that are
the
not
product,
excited about their product.
yeah,
I don't know.
from
Like,
Hasbro.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
the product.
Rob 2023 is slowly getting me back into buying some Transformers now. But man, the missing link Optimus Prime Transformer that came out, they're kind of like doing the Transformers like the Motu Origins line. They're basically releasing the G1 mold, but with articulation.
Wow.
With white styrofoam inserts. Like, I'm buying the thing for the styrofoam. Like, that's all I'm
awesome. I still haven't opened my Soundwave. He's still in the box.
Oh, right.
That's the one I picked up.
Yeah. So yeah, it is the 40th anniversary of Transformers, and Rob 2023 is probably going to slowly like work his Transformers magic in here. He told me yesterday that he still has to convince you.
He's gonna suck you back in, Michael.
But yeah,
awesome.
that was fun getting all the Masterverse news over this last week. There's one thing that we do have to follow up on from a Masterverse perspective, which will be dropping sometime early this week. So stay tuned. Always keep eyes and ears on the website, because that's the fastest way that we can put out this information.
Yeah, you never know when we're gonna drop some more news, and it's been coming fast and furious. So keep your eyes peeled. Check out toyhabits.com. We always got something new, so head over there on a daily basis, because you're always going to see something really awesome and interesting. And it's been an incredible week.
Totally. Yeah, it totally has been. And I can't believe it's March already. And on the 21st and 22nd, we're going to be getting Mattel reveals. And I dug a little deeper on that. They're doing it like Hasbro's PulseCon. So they're dedicating like a section to Motu, a section to Monster High, section for Barbie, and so on and so on. So it's like, I don't think they found their right method of communication yet. And maybe they're just testing this one out too.
Yeah, so that's going to be exciting to see whatever those, the Mattel Creations revealed 2 days of awesomeness is going to be. But yes, more Masterverse news coming next week, perhaps. Just keep your eyes peeled, Neil.
Yeah, we're still trying to dig up more Masterverse news, because I know that there are other figures that we need additional confirmation on, and so when we get that, we will let everyone know, of course.
Yep.
So
absolutely. But it's been fun, and if you haven't entered to win King Grayskull, head over to toyhabits.com. Go ahead and click on the banner on the top or in the article down below. Enter to win your chance of King Grayskull, which will be announced March 10th on our live stream. So good luck to one of you lucky viewers out there.
It's funny, if you take a look at the Rafflecopter widget, it doesn't show you the individual like entrants. It shows you the sheer amount of entries, and there's over 3,000, because you can have like multiple entries per person. So I was like, geez, it's like over 3,000 of entrants to choose from, and it's going to choose it randomly. So this is going to be really, really interesting.
And Dan, not yet. He keeps asking, did I win? Not yet. We'll see. We'll see who wins.
Yes.
It'll be completely random. So it'll be interesting, but some lucky Toy Habits viewer out there is going to win. So
yes. I don't know about Lady Slither's castle. Like, that would be interesting, but I'm hoping that they do that reveal at Comic-Con, because we'll be there selfishly.
Yeah. I know, right? That would be cool. And don't forget, the team needed time to actually develop the product, because we did that vote. I think it was back in like September or so, maybe August or September. So they've only had a few months thus far to actually develop it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. So this is awesome. Yeah. So this stream tonight is in replace of our stream on Sunday, because I will be unavailable. So we're doing a special broadcast tonight, because there was so much to talk about.
Yes, there was. It was a very exciting week, and we will be excited to be at SDCC this year, finally, to bring you all the news live as it's happening.
Yes. Well, awesome. So yeah,
Mhm.
thank you so much for hanging out with us this Friday night. And yeah, this is really weird because it's usually we're kicking off the end of a weekend. Now we're starting the beginning of a weekend.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of neat. It's been fun doing this on a Friday night.
It totally has been. Well, have a great night and hopefully you have fun this weekend and relax from your day jobs. So
I will. Yes, everybody enjoy. Have a good weekend. Do some awesome toy hunting, and we'll see you guys next week.
yes. All
Thanks for
right.
joining,
Bye,
y'all.
y'all.